from. You can find me in VIP, all eyes on me. Yeah, where the come from? This is how your night should be. All eyes on me.
All eyes on the prize, money supersized. G5 super fly, should be supervised. Do or die, open up your eyes, head to the sky. Keep a mean bad mommy on the side. Make a tsunami, kamikaze on the mind. Spit flow, paparazzi, flash shine. Get dough, champagne, Merlot. Cash and tango, in the VIP. Now she wanna touch her ankle. Get low, mueve mami como el dembow. All eyes on me, peeping through the window. Get mine, get yours, believe it or not. In the meantime, I'ma keep my eyes on the
All
top.
eyes on me, drinks on me, girls on me, on the dance floor. All eyes on me, who is he? Man, you better come get your girls out. All eyes on me, party like a rock star. You can find me in VIP. All eyes on me, yeah, where the girls are. This is how your night should be.
Hey, good evening, good afternoon, or good morning, whatever you may be around the world. Ali Madawi in here, and it looks like I picked the wrong shirt for today. I am faded into my own green screen, but it is okay because we are in the world of entrepreneurships, and baby, I got the goodies for you this evening. Hey, do you realize that digital marketers are the new telemarketers? How many of you, as much as I, get a gazillion people who literally send me a friend request, an automated message about something that they're selling, or we just get bombarded by sponsored ads, whether you are on social media from Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, it doesn't matter. There's just non-stop ads, and it all sounds just about the same. Something like this. Hey, are you in network marketing? Do you find yourself struggling recruiting? Do you want us to do blah, 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 blah? Hi, my name is John Doe, and I've been in the space for the last 15 years, and I've been able to generate $1 million. And here's what I'm going to give you, and here's what I'm going to give you. Click on the link below, and I'm going to give you my guide to 7 figures in 6 months. And you end up realizing it's the same exact song that is being sang by everybody else. Now, today I'm going to just help you identify and understand the true process, as much as I can fit it in this short period of time that I have for you in here, of digital marketing, just so you are not falling in the same exact trap. Because here's what I do as much as you do. We skip ads, we ignore schmucks who are just trying to sell stuff, and we kind of know who's real and who's the fake. I literally know individuals who made less than $10,000 in a whole calendar year gross, not even net profit take home, gross income, and they're teaching or they're selling how to become a 7-figure earner. It boggles my mind, but hey, hype marketer is hype marketer. You do what it does. All right, so let's talk about it. By the way, if you are an entrepreneur and if you are looking to enhance your digital marketing skills, if you're looking to increase your brand equity and revenue, you came to the right place. I am your strategic partner, Ali Madawi, founder and CEO of Madawi Enterprise, and I have the privilege and the opportunity to work with you every single night, Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Oh yeah, right here on the channel that you're watching. And so let me know if you're watching live or you are on the replay. So let's go ahead and get after it. If you're ready for it, let me know in the comments. So 5 marketing or digital marketing mistakes that I think that are happening in the marketplace. The very first one is there is no digital plan at all. It's like, okay, I'm just going to create a funnel and I'm just going to do a sponsor ad and I'm just going to drop a video and I'm just going to go on stories and I'm just every single day there is a different flow of process. There is no actual plan. See, in my team, and I have a team that helps me with my digital marketing, we actually have a unified system that happens at the same time in the same exact platforms with the same specific messaging that is congruent with what we understand and identify as our own network, as our own audience. Like we understand who belongs to our unit, if you will, who belongs to our community, if you will. And because we have that awareness, we know exactly how to communicate. So you got to have a digital marketing plan. You cannot just simply throw something against the wall and hope that it sticks. You have to have a plan. So if you are a quote unquote digital marketer, and if you find yourself on social media without having an itemized step-by-step bullet point under bullet point of how your marketing is going to take place, marketplace for the day, for the week, for the month, you got a major problem. You are just like everybody else, and you're going to spend a whole lot of money trying to figure things out the wrong way, and it's going to cost you a lot more. And here's what I mean. There are people who don't invest time in themselves to learn about how to do this thing the right way. And instead of saying, well, I could be making 100,000 or plus a year, I'm going to bootstrap so I don't spend $1,000 or $5,000 a year or whatever it may be on education, and then they end up costing themselves $95,000 they could have been making. So again, understand that you must and you have to have a digital marketing plan. Next mistake that I see in digital marketing is there is no actual buy-in from your team. I'm consulting right now as we speak for a company, and for the respect of my agreement with the company, obviously, it's a traditional direct-to-consumer company that we're consulting for. And I've asked them on the very first day, hey, can you bring me the heads of your departments just so I can have an understanding of the flow of working together? And the interesting thing, that was the very first time the marketing team, the sales team, and every other department came on the same Zoom. The first time. The company, by the way, has been around for a couple of years, and they want to scale up, but they just never had all of the heads of departments in the same place. And no wonder why the marketing team is not creating what is needed from the sales team, and why the sales team is so cranky and mad about what is provided by marketing, which forced them to create their own stuff, which is totally inconsistent with the proper audience and the proper network for that company. Therefore, it was an internal issue. So you got to have a buy-in from every single department. And when you include just the heads of the departments, to make sure that everyone is speaking the same language and everyone is identifying what works, what we need, how we need it, why we need it, and create it as a congruent unit, you're going to be in trouble. Now, if you're a solopreneur and you may say, well, I don't have really the budgets to hire a marketing and a sales team and whatnot, here's what you can do. And I've advised you many times in the past on this. You can get a marketer and say, hey, I know you have a specific skill. I have a specific product or a service that I know for a fact is needed in the marketplace. Can we make this a joint venture where I do my responsibility and my part of the work, which I'm really good at selling? You just help me out with the back end, and we could do a 50-50 joint venture for a 90-day period just until I take off, and then you can do your own thing or you can join me. See, by providing services and sharing what's on your plate, you can absolutely create a winning team around you without actually spending the money. The problem is we either are not innovative enough to create a team around us. There's a book that I would recommend to everybody. It's all about building a virtual team. I'm going to write it in the comment afterward. I promise you, it's a book that has helped me out in a major way, where at one point I had just about 30 plus individuals virtually working for me in a company, and they have never been in the same physical place. Now, everybody works together. We meet on a regular basis on Zooms and whatnot, but we've never been in a physical place together. And it was all virtual, and it started with one person, and then it grew and it grew and it grew in the same exact way, right? So make sure that you get everyone's buy-in, or you're going to be in major trouble. Does that make sense, by the way? I don't think I'm speaking anything that is not connecting so far. Number 3 is no digital consumer journey. This by far is the meat and potato of why 99% of digital marketers, or digital marketers calling themselves such, they end up failing miserably, spending a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of energy on the wrong places, doing the wrong things, because they don't understand the actual consumer journey. So there are 5 phases that you got to understand when it comes to digital marketing. So the consumer journey itself must be at its heart all of what you are thinking and doing. Every single time you are doing anything that has to do with digital marketing, whether you are the digital marketer or you have a team that is creating digital marketing content for you, you got to identify this piece of content that is about to go out, in what journey or what phase does it fall fall on. And we categorize it with 5 different phases. The very first phase is awareness, right? It's creating awareness for people to know that we exist, to know what we do, to know why we do it, right? So the awareness phase shouldn't have anything about selling, shouldn't have anything about joining, shouldn't have anything about signing up at all. That's just to create awareness. I'm just putting something out there for people to connect with me emotionally, right? The know, like, and trust factor. The second phase is consideration. This is where people would consider you, right? This is where you may consider to give a freebie, you may consider to give a free download, you may consider to just drop some knowledge on everybody, like I'm doing with you right now, right? Like I'm just dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping. This right here that I'm doing with you right now is where I create what's called consideration. I'm giving you so much as if you're paying me right now, just so you can consider at some point, whenever you are ready, to say, when I need something about business development in the digital space or whatever it may be, I'm going to think about Ali. I will consider Ali just based on what I've seen, based on what he has taught at no cost at all, right? The next phase is the purchase phase. Well, that's where you actually have already pre-qualified individuals who already went through the awareness phase. They know who you are, who already have gone through the consideration phase. They downloaded something. They opted into an email list or whatever the case may be. When you have those individuals in that specific list, that's when you can take it a step further and ask for a sale, ask for a purchase. The next phase is adoption. See, the adoption phase is when you convert that person who purchased something into a retained customer, right? Where you have a subscription or whatever the case may be. You can turn them into an affiliate. You can turn them into something long-term. That's when you adopt that relationship. The last piece is the advocacy phase. That's where you either create ambassadors, advocates, affiliate links, whatever it may be, that starts having other individuals really speak of you to the world, right? It doesn't have to be network marketing, but think about applications that you use on a regular basis. Let's just think the one that really isn't paying us at all, Uber. Cash App, right? What does everybody do? And what do they do themselves? Refer someone and get a free ride. Refer, the 5 people and get $30. Refer this, refer that. So they try to turn the individual to an advocate, right? To an ambassador. So you have these 5 phases, but then when you put a piece of content out there, inbox me if you're interested in building a business online. Like, yeah, well, which phase is that? Because you just dropped a purchase post in the middle of a network that might not know who you are or your value. Therefore, you skipped awareness, you skipped consideration, and you think you're going to go right to the sell. Now you know why sometimes people will literally post information about their company in the link and crickets, not even a single like, not even a single comment. That's because you are not respecting the actual flow of the digital marketing process and the journey of your end member. And I know I'm dropping a lot on you in here, but I'm doing my very best to keep it extremely, extremely simple. The next mistake is there is no respect or trust for marketing. This right here, I was actually, I was one of the people who didn't respect people, content creators or Instagram page builders. I always rolled my eyes. I'm like, oh my God, here's another person who's going to tell me how they're going to get my page to 1 million followers and they're going to get me verified. And then I'll go to their page and they have like 2 likes, right? And I needed to understand that there's a statistic that I saw earlier today. 73% of CEOs believe marketers lack business credibility. I'm one of those individuals. I'm working on seeing a different side because it is a skill, and that while one person has a skill about marketing or creating content, I don't see them, like I've mentioned. I know people who made less than $10,000 gross last year, and they're marketing themselves as 7-figure coaches. And that to me creates the feeling of you lack business credibility, right? Even the ability to generate growth. I know people who are doing Facebook Lives left and right, and they have not had a single customer. And I'm a life coach. Okay, well, how many clients have you had last year? None. The year before? None. So how are you a life coach? Who are you coaching? Well, I'm working on my journey. Well, you can't call yourself a coach yet. Then you're a student. You're a life student, but you have to work on specific elements like I'm talking to you about tonight, or every single night I'm giving you a little bit that you can work on. Just make sure that you don't set yourself in a situation where you are just another telemarketer that happens to be on social media. And so I'm starting to generate the respect needed for marketers, but it has to be within reasons, right? Within specific aligned core values. So let's talk about a few steps on respecting marketing itself. So you got to identify and build a digital growth engine. Think about it as an assembly line, right? So far, when you start the marketing process, there is the digital advertising. That's when sponsor ads, or that first message that goes out to the individual about your service, your product. Now, in between that, it's the content that you're dropping every single day that's going to connect the digital advertising to the actual website that sells, right? Like the swipe up features or whatever it may be, right? So we go from digital advertising content, or drip campaigns as we call it, to a website that actually sells the product. Even if it does not mean a direct purchase, it could be just a freebie or a download. From there, you got to have an automation system, a marketing automation system, like an autoresponder, or again, another drip campaign, or a content that goes out 2 to 3 emails per week or per day, depending on your audience, depending on your network, depending on who you are interacting with. Last but not least is sales enablement. Sales enablement is the person is so in love and downloading and always watching that for a fact you've been spending all this time with me. You've been downloading all my stuff, reading all my stuff, watching all my stuff. So it enables the step of purchase. That's when there's a pop-up that comes up. That's when there's a special event with a call to action. That's when there's a very special freebie, bonus, whatever the case may be. Now, that assembly line has 3 specific phases. The very first one, it increases your website traffic. That's the digital advertising and the drip campaigns, right? The second piece, it generates leads. That's when they end up in your website. The marketing automation keeps your leads engaged, right, with freebie and value content. And the last piece is to convert it into an actual sale, into business. So again, if you don't have a system that goes from A to Z, that assembly line, you're going to do so much. And marketing, by the way, takes the most energy out of a company, takes the most resources out of a company, takes the most spending out of a company. So this is why it's so imperative for you to not make these mistakes, because you're going to spend like everything in the bank and your time and your energy, and you're going to get nothing out of it. The second step of creating respect for the marketing for your team is to define a full funnel or a digital growth system or a dashboard even that the person is going to have access to, so they are enjoying a journey. They feel like it's seamless. You ever downloaded an application that was free, and within the app there are free things to purchase? Well, they gave you that application that as it would have been a funnel, right? They gave you an experience. You felt like you were already an insider. You ate the appetizers for free. So when they said, here is the 5-meal course, you were like, well, the appetizer was so good that I'm willing to go for the full meal. And you purchased, right? You bought whatever it is that they were selling. So again, it is imperative. That's the second step of respecting the marketing system that you have. Within that, there are 3 pieces again within, defining that funnel or the dashboard, or, the access to as an insider. The very first piece, again, is all about traffic. That's when you have visits. That's when you have views. That's when you have clicks. That's when you have likes. That's when you have shares. Like all of those are engagements and traffic generators across the spectrum. This is why you see me everywhere. This is why there are emails that go out all the time. This is why there's blog, there's podcasts. All of that is just to create traffic, and that traffic is going to funnel through the masses to create the most connecting individuals with what I teach, what I do, and what I offer every single day. They call those individuals leads. So that's the second phase of that. So the leads are marketing qualified individuals, right? That would lead into sales transactions, that would end up spending money, that would end up reaching out to you and say, hey, I'm interested in what you have. Conversions, and that is the third phase. So that's where you have sales qualified leads. That's when you have enrollments, signups, opt-ins, whatever it may be that you are monetizing. And please make sure that the end step, the last step, is the monetization. If you don't have a system to monetize with everything that I'm telling you right now, step by step, you're going to find yourself with a very expensive and tiring hobby. And I don't know about you, you didn't get in business to be in a hobby. Mistake number 5, if you're ready for it, give me a high five. Mistake number 5 is no digital marketing differentiation. You sound like everybody else. You say the same thing everybody else says. Oh, I'm a life coach. I help people overcome limited beliefs and have the confidence they need to overcome anything that there is in life. Okay, that's cute. Everyone said the same exact thing. Oh, I help struggling entrepreneurs to learn how to develop a business and get cash flow and blah, blah, blah. Like everybody says the same exact thing. Imagine how many billions of people are saying the same exact thing. So how do you actually stand out from the masses? Well, you have to adapt a philosophy first. And that philosophy is help first, sell second. Help first, sell second. You're going to see me every single day, as you have seen me for the last 14 years, since I was on MySpace, an early stage of Facebook, an early stage of Instagram. It was always about help, 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 help every single day. And then the selling naturally is going to come because the right people are going to tell you, hey, do you offer coaching? Do you offer this or do you offer that? Or they're going to go to your website, which again, those phases that I told you about, the awareness phase, the consideration phase, the purchase, like all of that, it naturally and organically happens, assuming again, you have a digital plan. If you don't have a digital plan, I don't feel bad for you because you're doing it to yourself. You literally are giving the marketplace away to everybody else. So you got to help first, sell second. This is when I work with individuals and I say, you're not doing any Facebook Lives. Oh, I'm shy. Well, that's your problem. You're not giving the best version for yourself. Like you could literally go and tell the world, hey, I'm so shy, but I'm going to share my journey as I'm learning to overcome my shyness with you so you can overcome it as well. And we can do this together. That's a value right there. You know how many people around the world will connect with you just on that one piece alone? And every single day, whatever you learn, whatever you overcome is going to absolutely and 100% create value in the eyes of the masses, right? So I'm going to give you right now the how to tell a digital story that sells. If you're ready for that, I think you're going to enjoy this one. So the digital story that sells is a path that you have to respect first. Many people don't have the necessary patience to tell a story and stick with it long term, and they rush. It's like meeting somebody on the first date and saying, will you marry me? You gotta be very, very patient. Now, some people, they don't get married until a decade later in a relationship. Some people get married within their first 3 months to a year. I know a pastor, Pastor Miguel and his wife, who got married after a blind date. Crazy, right? Like that's insane. They're still together, by the way, like almost 16 or 17 years together. God bless them both. But in any case, so let's talk about it. So the very first thing is you have to understand the consumer persona, right? Like who is the character of my ideal consumer? Who am I talking to? Like if you look at Gary Vee, he understands his audience. I'm gonna drop F-bombs left and right. I'm a football guy. I'm all about digital marketing. I'm all about innovation. I'm all about philosophy and going against the odds, right? And many of his audience connect with that. If he understands that, he knows how to speak to that specific audience. I don't F-bomb. The only F-bomb that you'll ever hear from me is food. A lot of food. I love to eat. The second phase is you got to have specific questions and concerns for that audience, right? Like I ask myself every single time. And matter of fact, most of my content that I create is coming from daily interactions that I have every single day. So you got to have specific questions to ask, like, what motivated you to meet with me today? What are you struggling with the most? How long have you been struggling in that phase? If I were to provide everything to you, what would be the appropriate budget for you to make that come to life? If you don't have money, what are the other alternative options that you can do for us to work? Like, so there's so many specific things that you have to understand how to ask that will increase your probability that you're going to not only hit home, but you're definitely going to close. Who meets? You got to understand that the message that needs to go, it has to meet a certain sense of empathy. There are people who get a little bit of success, right? They make $10,000 gross, and they lose their sense of empathy, just total sense of empathy. Like that, all of a sudden they are gurus. All of a sudden they are a high level. All of a sudden they lose the sense of connecting and talking to everyday average people. Can I be honest with you? The most qualified candidate for me to work with is the everyday average Joe or average Joanne, the real struggling entrepreneur, the person who has potential but could not figure out how to even get one client. That's like my most qualified, and to be honest with you, my favorite person to work with, because sure, I'm consulting for a company right now that's doing millions, right? Like, I might probably help them to grow and scale, but I get more excited about the person who has never had any success, or the company that is just considering to launch and take it to a whole new level. So again, you have to have a sense of empathy to the individual, because by having that, you're going to be innovative and the person will cheer for you and claim the world, with your name attached to it. So make sure you have empathy. The next phase of telling a story, you have to understand how to build content that creates trust. You got to create trust with your audience. A lot of people are all about hype, 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 exaggeration, biggest thing ever. I'm the famous, I'm the greatest, I'm this, yeah, that's cute and all, but nobody cares. How do you build trust with individuals? Well, again, it goes back to that like factor. It goes back to that know factor. Behind the scenes stories are the best way, to infuse trust within people, showing people the real you. Doing a Facebook Live is as real get. It is 8:26 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on February 9th right now. It is real. It's an open window for a spare moment to see who I am, how I am, my eye contact, tonality, how horrible my hair needs a haircut today, right? Those things could create a real interaction, a real connection with an audience member. Then you offer a solution through all of these phases. Again, it's the storytelling, not an offer to sell, a solution. I cannot tell you how many people I meet with every single day, and I give them all the goodies. Hey, I know you said that you're struggling in your paycheck to paycheck, but here's what I would do. Here's what I would do. Here's what I would do. Try that for 30 days and come back to me. If anything changes, man, I got your back. We can work together even more, right? But provide a solution. Don't be stingy with your greatness, because the reality is you're competing not against other coaches and trainers and people who charge. You're competing against YouTube. It's free. And I'm telling you here right now, every single day, I'm going to just out train and out give the world, because that's what I love to do. Now, while you are creating solutions for that individual, you want to make sure that there's also a call to action, such as, hey, here is a solution, here's an offer, here's a program, here's a system, here's a whatever it is that you offer, or a call to action of like, why don't we, reconnect in 30 days from now, try what I'm telling you right now and see if things change, and maybe we can take things a step further. So you have to have a call to action in order to, again, create that assembly line or that journey to your prospect, or that story that you're telling that is building the trust necessary. Now, once you help that individual see a vision, a clear path. Let me skip the vision, because a vision is great, right? But a vision doesn't pay the bills, right? I need a clear path, a system, a result-based system that can show me exactly 1 + 1 = 2, that is tangible, that is doable, that is available to me. Once you do that, you're going to be on your way to actually help that individual to realize their hopes and dreams, and a game plan. And you could be with a strategic partner to make that genuinely and truly come to life. Now, I know I've given you a whole lot and I know it's been a mouthful, but here's what I'm going to tell you. If you are a struggling entrepreneur and everything that I shared with you sounded like you don't understand anything that I'm telling you, we need to talk. I have a team. We can work together. We can help you. We can definitely create whatever it is that is necessary for you. You can go directly to winwithali.com. There's a tab that's called Save My Business. There's a tab that you can be part of my inner circle. A lot of content that comes at you at least just once a week, just valuable information. And we can even get a freebie consultation. As a matter of fact, if you want a one-on-one consultation, just free, just me and you evaluating where you are in life, what do you need, even if you are not ready to do business in any way, shape, or form, make sure you hit me up. Just send me a message, drop a comment. Hey, give me a freebie, and I will reach out to you and definitely give you access to my Calendly, and we can talk. We can see how we can work together. Until then, definitely make sure that you visit me in winwithali.com. There's a free audiobook in there. There's a podcast that is in there. There's access to the blog, anything and everything. I don't sell anything from the website, by the way. There's nothing for you to buy, but it's all free. And it's all giveaways because it's all about that value, baby. So I appreciate it. And I thank each and every one of you. And until tomorrow, make sure you tag a business friend who needs to hear this information because one click could answer somebody's prayer. I love you and I appreciate you. And until tomorrow, have a blessed day, everybody.